Yeah, you read that thumbnail right.
Where are you? Here.
For years I've been thinking that The Dark Knight is the best film I've ever seen. I've watched it like 500 times, probably even more. At the 400th time I realized that probably I was watching the best film ever made. For a number of reasons. One of them is how layered every single moment is, how every single scene is filled with thematic richness to it, how everything is so creative, so masterful, that every time I think about the quality of this movie I get scared because I cannot believe that a human being made this movie. That's how good I think it is. Now, like I said in my Batman Begins analysis and review, I watched Batman Begins and Dark Knight back to back with some friends, and I want to know if my opinion on Dark Knight still stands as the best film ever made. So let's find out. Every single film in the Dark Knight trilogy starts with the Bat logo being shaped by what the character is confronting in the film. Like I said in my Batman Begins video, in that film, the Bat logo is shaped by bats, which represent fear. In this film, it's shaped by blue fire, which represent chaos. Why blue? I don't fucking know. If you want to know my interpretation on it, the blue is what leads to orange fire. Throughout the film we see that orange fire being caused by Joker, the source of all chaos. And also, if you didn't know, blue is the part of the fire that burns the most, but it's also the less reachable, which is very much connected to this character. I'm gonna explain you later why. Probably I'm pulling this out of my ass, but the color palette of this movie is mostly blue, so maybe that's why they just chose blue fire. Looks cool. Speaking of chaos, this film opens with the bank robbery in Gotham, the most chaotic bank robbery in film. And not because the criminals are doing some crazy things with the hostages, but because they're doing crazy things to themselves.
Is it a problem?
No, I'm done here.
No, no!
And right away you can tell how Nolan's filmmaking has changed with this film, and a lot of it has to do because of IMAX. Nolan has stated that IMAX is one of the biggest reasons why his filmmaking changed a lot from The Prestige, which was his previous film, and Batman Begins. That IMAX camera forced him to make more wide shots, more epic shots, and less cuts. I'm gonna show you two very similar moments in each film. In Batman Begins you can tell that the editing is forcing you to feel that shock.
What the hell is this?
While in Dark Knight, the lack of editing is inviting you to feel that shock.
What happened to the rest of the guys?
Nolan took a big risk here because the pacing is extremely fast. And if you make a film this fast, you might not give your audience enough time to digest every moment or every emotion that you want them to feel. And somehow he pulls it off. I don't know how. But his editing is so quick, the moments are so fast that I don't know how he does it. And a lot of it also has to do with the fact that this film's main theme is chaos. So of course, you feel that chaos with a lot of the moments, and a lot of the moments can have that benefit with the quick editing. People often compare Dark Knight with Heat because yeah, Heat is one of the biggest inspirations of this film. And yeah, there are some similarities. There's a bank robbery that feels very realistic. It's a crime thriller. And there's a long-awaited moment when finally the hero and the villain talk. That really is it. This is genuinely an inspiration, not a copy. With just body movements, 2 lines, and one scary close-up, Heath Ledger's Joker has one of the best introductions in cinema history. But also the sequence. The fact that this sequence is so complex and it's filled with a lot of layers and it's just 4 minutes long. It's one of the best character introductions ever, which this film has a lot. This film has a lot of great introductions. Harvey Dent's introduction also is amazing. In this quick scene, we get to know him a lot. We get to like him a lot. But also, there's a foreshadowing of his dark side here. When he punches the criminal that fails to shoot him, that quick moment is already telling the audience that there's something else to discover about this character's personality. You either die as a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. One of the most haunting lines ever. A lot of people just love that line because it's a foreshadowing, but it's so much connected to real life. To right now, how we just demonize some people that try to do some good. This guy really sells that white knight status because he's so right. And even Gordon, who is a hero in my mind, even him is like, yeah, if I have to work with corrupt cops, I have to work with corrupt cops. It's the only thing that I can do. I'm alone. And this will have serious consequences near the end of the film. Gotham City feels even more alive in this film, and a lot of it has to do to the fact that it was shot in a real place, Chicago. But we explore every single corner of this city to the point that we feel disgusted because we see this modern, this very clean city, but underneath it, it's a piece of shit. There's a lot of bad people in this movie and a lot of people that are willing to do horrible things just because of their own benefit. But also we have a great contrast to some people who are trying to do some good. And that makes you care about this city. It's not just filled with horrible people. There's also good people that are trying to do the right thing. And I've heard this complaint many times throughout the years that this film and Dark Knight Rises don't give enough screen time to Batman. And they give more screen time to the city and the supporting characters. In Batman Begins, we had enough screen time of him to understand him, to feel his mission. In the next two films, Gotham is as important as Batman. Because Batman is Gotham. And Gotham is Batman. They're a perfect reflection of one another. When you're watching Gotham in this movie or other characters, you feel Batman everywhere because now they have a symbiotic connection with one another.
There's no going back. You've changed things. Forever.
And I've heard this complaint many times, the fact that this film is the film about Joker, not Batman. And Dark Knight Rises is about Bane, not Batman. That's the most superficial complaint I've heard about this trilogy. It's insanity. The fact that a lot of people think this. And I just feel that people haven't seen this film really. You know, like, did you watch Dark Knight? Yeah, Joker is in this film a lot and he steals the movie for a lot of people. But Batman is everywhere. Even if he's not on screen, he's everywhere. The film is about him. We have another introduction to Joker. We have two outstanding introductions to this character. And in this scene, he actually gives us a great life advice.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
What else can I say about Heath Ledger's performance that hasn't been said already? I think that if there's something new that I can say is that I will cut my balls to pay and see him acting without that makeup.
Did your balls drop off?
Or him with that makeup talking like Heath Ledger. Because I cannot believe that's Heath Ledger. I don't believe him that that's Patrick from 10 Things I Hate About You. It's impossible. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe that that's Heath Ledger because it's insanity. He's so good in this movie. Nolan and team knew that if they released footage of him acting without that makeup or talking with his voice on that makeup, we would have lost that mysticism that we have around this character. He's the best villain in cinematic history and the best performance I've ever seen. There are 4 reasons why his character is so scary. One of them is simply his actions, how far he will go to have some fun seeing the world burning. The second reason is that we know so little of him. Third reason is that he's actually funny. It's scary that we laugh at the horrible things he does in this movie. And the fourth reason, and the biggest reason, is that he's not crazy. Like he says,
You're crazy. I'm not. No, I'm not.
He gives a lot of speeches in this film about the horrible reality of our society. That you can tell that this guy is sane. This guy is just an asshole. And that's even scary. The fact that a guy like that could come out one day and do this craziness just because he wants to have some fun. Because he doesn't take our society, people, seriously. It terrifies me. Also, this is the first film featuring the costume Batman outside of Gotham. If you didn't know, that's Christian Bale standing on that building, on that tall building. If there wasn't evidence enough to support that Christian Bale is actually Batman, well, you have that fact. The skyhook in this sequence is awesome, but my favorite moment is when he gives that loud punch to that Chinese guy. So after Batman kidnapped Lau, that I'm good with calculations guy, Gordon uses his testimony to arrest one of the biggest bosses of the mob, but also his fellas.
You sure you want to embarrass me in front of my friends, Lieutenant?
Oh, don't worry. They're coming too.
Gordon is so badass in this trilogy. He does a lot of things in these fucking movies. In the courtroom, the judge is turning the pages and she finds a Joker card. And moments later, we have a moment that we'll never forget. The best jump scare in cinema history. When I was 8 watching this film, I already watched things that were creepy and made me jump off my seat. But it wasn't until 2018, when I watched Hereditary, that I felt true horror. That horror that makes you feel this pressure on your chest and it's just intensified and you feel so bad about the things that are going on and you're feeling so scared because you feel that the world's ending but in a horrible way. That true feeling that great horror movies makes you feel, that was the first time watching a horror movie. But when it's about non-official horror movies, Dark Knight was the first time that made me feel that feeling. The dread and anxiety that causes Joker throughout every single scene, that you feel that something horrible is about to happen, even though sometimes the characters are just stuck in a private room, but you feel that something's gonna happen. Something's gonna crash on that window with Rachel and Bruce. But one of the biggest reasons, and a very subtle reason for an 8-year-old is that Nolan, just like Joker, is questioning humanity in this film. And as he begins to question humanity even more, challenge humanity even more, things become worse. Because you feel that as you leave that theater, you're gonna see the world in a different way. Maybe you become Joker. In the creepy recorded video that Heath Ledger actually shot himself, if you didn't know, he gives one of the most genius threats to a superhero like Batman. Is that if he doesn't reveal his identity, he will kill people every day. This puts Batman in a limit because, he says in Batman Begins, he just wanted to be a symbol. He didn't want people to know that Bruce Wayne was Batman, because if Bruce Wayne is Batman, it means that only he can be Batman. And so if he reveals himself, that idea, that symbol will be broken. So it will be a threat to his mission and the promise that he gave to his parents. So this challenges Batman in ways that he never thought of. Because you know, this film is not about Batman. Bruce Wayne entering his own party in the most epic way with a helicopter and 3 chicks. Christian Bale is amazing in this moment. There's a video, I don't remember the name of the video, that analyzes Christian Bale's performance, especially in this moment. And wow, he's incredible here. How he changes his personality so subtle from that playboy asshole that he likes to act like to that very genuine Bruce Wayne that wants the best for Gotham and knows that Harvey is the best for Gotham, at least for now. And that's something that people forgot to talk about after they watched Dark Knight for the first time. They just talked about Heath Ledger's performance, which, yeah, amazing, legendary, but everybody's amazing in this movie. Everybody deserves a fucking Oscar. Christian Bale, Gary Oldman, Aaron Eckhart. Where are you, Aaron Eckhart? I haven't seen you in a movie in a while. What happened to you? Your performance here is amazing. Outside of Joker, you give the best performance in the entire fucking movie. What happened to you? Where are you, man? Are you fine? Are you okay? Are you kidnapped somewhere in the desert or something? What happened to you? I love you, man. Come back. The next moment is very important in Nolan's filmography because it's the first time that he did that 3 intercalating sequence. And it's 3 sequences intercalating with one another. One is the judge that was threatened by Joker. The other one is the commissioner, that asshole that finally gets killed by Joker in this movie. And the other one, obviously, the party where Joker wants to kidnap Harvey. And this intercalated sequence happens a lot in this movie, but it started to happen a lot in his filmography with Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Interstellar. He's a master doing this. You really feel that chaos with these 3 sequences intercalating. Another fact is that Michael Caine forgot a line when he saw Heath Ledger for the first time. And we see his genuine reaction to it. And Nolan was like, yeah, we should leave that. We should leave that. Poor Alfred. But man, Joker and Rachel, I remember seeing that in the theater. I was like, is he gonna cut Rachel's mouth? Why I'm watching this movie? Wasn't this supposed to be a superhero movie? This is scary. My God, that theater moment watching Dark Knight, I will never forget. That's probably the second best experience watching a movie. The first one being Interstellar. But yeah, when you're marked by Joker, you're dead. Doesn't matter if it's not now, it's gonna be later, but you're gonna die. After that event, Bruce is telling Alfred that they should figure out what Joker is looking for, what he wants. Sir Michael Caine as Alfred gives one of the most haunting speeches ever, when he's telling that story about the bandit that stole a ruby the size of a tangerine. And this guy just stole it because it was a good sport. And Alfred is telling this to Bruce to explain to him that Joker doesn't want money. Joker cannot be bought, bullied. Reason with him. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And then we cut to Bruce's face, seeing a Joker. Oh my God. Yeah, that moment, it's insanely scary because Alfred is telling Bruce that you don't get it. This guy doesn't want something. He already has what he wants. What follows is one of the best shots in the film, an epic but haunting look at the city with that blue palette. And yeah, once again, that's Christian Bale on top of that building. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox is even better in this movie. Of course, the moment with Reese, that Reese is trying to threaten them because he is like, yeah, I know Bruce Wayne is Batman, so tell me, are you gonna give me some money because of this? And he's like, are you seriously thinking of threatening Bruce Wayne and Batman? Are you dumb? Oh, but the attempt on the mayor, that moment is so tense, so scary. When Heath Ledger shoots, everybody starts running and we have this wide of everybody running like ants, anywhere to hide. It's like if Joker was that kid with that hand lens pointing at the ants. And to sum up my feeling of not feeling safe in the theater as an 8-year-old watching this movie, Rachel says that Bruce's penthouse is the safest place in Gotham. The lines in this movie really makes you feel that these characters are not safe anywhere. And also makes you feel that you're not safe. I remember as an 8-year-old watching the movie, and when she said that, I was like, I'm in a theater filled with a lot of people. One of those assholes might shoot someone. Batman in the Disco, that's an image that is actually very overlooked. It looks really awesome. But yeah, he then interrogates Maroni, which again, seeing Batman angry, interrogating people, it's insane. For one professional to another, if you're trying to scare someone, pick a better spot. From this height, the fall wouldn't kill me. I'm counting on it. But the previous interrogation scene was simple. Batman interrogated Flash and he got Flash scared. But in this moment, Batman gets scared. Marine tells him, you're not gonna find Joker. He's not friends of anyone. But also everybody's scared of him. So no one is gonna deliver him to you. In the same sequence, Harvey is threatening one of Joker's goons. I think it's one of Joker's goons. It's just that he's crazy and he's mentally ill. Maybe Joker just used him. But he's very angry at him. I mean, he's losing his shit. And Batman is like, you cannot do that. If someone sees you, you're fucking fucked. The character of Harvey is so interesting. Not just the White Knight, but he also does have some problems. He's not flawless. Then Bruce meets Rachel in his penthouse. Bruce is depending on Rachel a lot. I mean, this guy, when he sees Harvey, he's not just happy that Gotham now has a White Knight, but also he's like, yeah, maybe I don't need to be Batman anymore. Maybe we can be together and have a normal life. But of course, that will never happen, Bruce. Please, wake up, man. Oh my god, I love this movie. That is clearly not about Batman. Like I said, I've seen this film a lot of times, and every time I watch it, still in 2025, the last time I watched it, I always find something new about it. Something, even the smallest thing. And the last time that I watched it, I realized that when Rachel is saying goodbye to Alfred, it's not just like a reference to the fact that she's gonna die. It's also that she's saying goodbye because she's like, yeah, I'm not gonna see Bruce anymore. Because in her mind, Bruce used Harvey to take his place and reveal himself as Batman. So yeah, it's not just a goodbye of like telling the audience she's gonna die. Like she says in the letter, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be with Harvey. Forget it. And she's obviously angry at that moment. So after Harvey took Batman's place and he's in the convoy, we start the best chase ever. Again, a human being really made this film. I cannot believe it. There are a lot of movies that have great chases. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, for instance. The truck chase is really awesome. This is not just a beauty in stunts, in practical effects, in miniature CGI, but also in story. We start with Harvey in the convoy and we have this white and the sound is fading off and we start to hear Joker's music. Masterful idea by Hans Zimmer. And then we cut to a truck somewhere and a police is like, hey, you have to wait like everybody else, pal, and he gets shot instantly. Holy shit. And then we have another white and a police says, we have a fire truck on fire. There's nothing that says anarchy more than a fire truck on fire. And then, yeah, Joker intercepts them. But there's something interesting already happening in the story. It's the fact that Joker is trying to kill Harvey. He's trying to use a bazooka on him. And it's really interesting because, like he says later on, he doesn't want to kill Batman. When Batman suggests the idea that, why do you want to kill me? He laughs. He laughs intensely because he's like, do you think I want to kill you? I don't want to kill you. It would have been fun anymore. So when he's chasing that convoy and trying to kill Harvey, he knows Harvey's not Batman. He's too smart to get fooled by that lie. That's already fucking interesting. Batman shows up with the Batmobile. Oh my god, the greatest vehicle ever, I think. Because then we get the Batpod, which is a genius idea. The Batpod getting out of the Batmobile that was broken. Fucking awesome. That vehicle, I think it's better than the Tumbler. I don't know. Both of them I love, but that Batpod, holy shit. But before that, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Batman shows up and he crashes the trash truck and he's like, holy fucking shit. But then Joker has this reaction and he's like, and he tries to kill Harvey once again, but Batman sacrifices his Batmobile, getting in the middle of the bazooka and the convoy. Oh my god. Batman is following the convoy and Joker is struck with the Batpod and he intercepts him and Joker says, now there's the Batman. And then, of course, Batman uses the cables of his Batpod and the stunt happens. Again, this movie was made by a human being. Also, if you think about it, it's really funny how this chase happens from the perspective of people inside the vehicles. When Joker is driving the truck and then the truck flips, he's like, what the fuck happened? And Harvey, whose convoy doesn't have windows, gets the worst. When Gordon opens the convoy, he's like, holy shit. It's really funny. But the sequence is not over. Then we get the best moment. And it's not the best moment because of a stunt or practicals. Well, yeah, the stunt is insane, but it's because, again, the story. Joker challenges Batman to kill him by running over him. And as soon as Batman decides not to, Joker smiles. And you can tell he's like, yeah, this is his biggest weakness. This moment is perfectly connected with what Joker says later in the film.
This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
Batman is this unstoppable force driving towards Joker, and Joker is the immovable object challenging Batman. But as soon as Batman commits to his choice not to kill, they completely swap roles as Joker walks towards Batman. This is an amazing metaphor for how these characters play into this story. At the beginning of the film, Batman is perceived as this unstoppable force against crime, and Joker as the immovable object of crime not affected by Batman. But as soon as Joker starts playing directly with Batman, he forces himself and Batman to swap roles. Now Joker is the unstoppable force of evil, and Batman is the immovable object of good. Everything has led to the interrogation scene. A lot of people claim that it's one of the best scenes ever made. The dialogue here is incredible, and the performances from both Christian Bale and Heath Ledger are incredible, but what surprises me the most is the running time of this scene. It's just like 4 minutes long. It's one of the best scenes ever made, and it's just 4 minutes long. Usually when people talk about the best scenes ever made, they usually talk about scenes that are like 10 minutes long. But no, this is very short. But everything that has to be said is said like that. And this performance, the intensity of Batman punching Joker, and those punches, my god, you really feel them. And Joker is just laughing. There's nothing scarier than a villain laughing even harder and harder as the hero is beating him up harder and harder. There's nothing scarier than that. But Christian Bale's face in that moment, oh my god, Batman's face, you see not just a face of anger, but you can tell he's terrified. So Joker plays with Batman. He's forcing him to break his no key rule because he has to choose between saving Rachel or Harvey. Of course he chooses Rachel, but I think his choice is not just personal, but I think it's also kind of smart, because if he saves Rachel, Harvey dies and he's like, okay, Rachel is sad and of course we lost our White Knight, but he's our martyr. But what happened to the latter is the worst thing that could have happened. Joker swapped the directions and he's actually saving Harvey. And those moments are so heartbreaking, so terrifying, so disturbing. In Rachel's death is one of the most brutal deaths in cinema. The fact that we see the explosion just blowing next to her face, that's so realistic and so fucked up. This sequence is another 3 sequences intercalated. One is Joker in prison teasing the cop, and he's like, how many of your friends did I kill? He says, you killed 6 of my friends. He's like, this guy's an asshole. Like I said, he's completely sane. He's just an asshole, an eccentric asshole. And he says again something that is very asshole-y, but it's also very true. He says that when you see people in their last moments, they show you who they really are. And he says, so in a way, I knew your friends better than you ever did. And then he makes that thing with his tongue, and he says, wanna know which of them were cowards? Oh my god, that guy's a fucking asshole. But then we have, again, I'm gonna say this, I have said this often, but it's the best shot in cinema history. A human being made this fucking movie. Everything is being said in that shot. Interestingly, this film also has a moment where Alfred and Bruce are mourning the death of someone. In Batman Begins was Bruce's parents, in this is Rachel, and they use the exact same music in both scenes. But in this scene, again, it's not that simple. It's not just another scene like when his parents died and Alfred hugs Bruce or something. No. This scene ends with even a colder and more haunting line by Alfred. And it's when Bruce asks him, how did you get that bandit? And his answer, burn the first down. Oh my god. This movie is so cold. There are barely moments in this film that we mourn with our characters. This is one of the few moments, and it ends with that haunting and horrifying line. So Joker already tests Batman, but now it's the turn to test the city. He tells the people that if Coleman Reese isn't dead in the next 60 minutes, he will blow up a hospital, because Coleman Reese wants to reveal who Batman is. The stakes just get higher and higher and higher, and this is something that Nolan uses a lot in his films, and is threatening something that is kind of sacred. There's nothing more sacred than a hospital. It's very similar to the fire truck. There's nothing more unsacred than putting on fire a fire truck. This sequence is also very important because we see a lot of shots, very quick shots of people trying to help the patients get out of the hospital. Nurses, people just there. This is so important to make you care about this city. This is showing you that this city is not just filled with assholes and garbage. There's also good people here trying to help. So that makes you care more about this. You care about Gotham's soul. So Joker quickly and masterfully turns Harvey Dent to the dark side. Do I look like a guy with a plan? That leads me to say something that kind of angers me every time I think about it, and it's how people interpret that line of Joker. The fact that he's saying that he doesn't have a plan. And a lot of people, professional YouTube channels, have stated that Joker is a hypocrite. The fact that he does have a plan, and that thing of saying that he doesn't have a plan is just a way to manipulate Harvey. I don't know why people have such a rough time trying to understand that line. Like I said, there are professional YouTube channels who have stated that Joker is not a hypocrite. He's actually telling the truth. He doesn't have a plan. But with the context that he's actually saying that, what he means is that he's a dog chasing cars. He doesn't know what he's going to do when he cuts one. He's just doing things. And that's it. It's not that literally he doesn't have a plan. Of course he needs to have a plan. Harvey's not that dumb. What he means by that, and I'm going to give you an example how he works throughout the entire movie. In the convoy chase, he's trying to kill Harvey. He's like, if I kill Harvey, I win. But also, if I don't kill him, okay, I'm gonna kidnap him later. And in jail, he's like, okay, so if Batman chooses to save Harvey, Rachel's gonna die. But if he chooses to save Rachel, Harvey's gonna die. So I win in both cases. But okay, he's now alive. So I'm gonna go to the hospital, I'm gonna turn him. And if he doesn't turn to the dark side, he's like, okay, I'm gonna blow up the hospital anyway, I'm gonna kill him. That's how he works. That's how he works. Of course, he does have a plan for every single thing that he does, but he doesn't have a like masterful scheming plan. Like he says, he's not a schemer like Gordon or the mob. He's just doing stuff like that, and his only mission is chaos. This is how he achieves it, just doing things. I don't understand why people don't get that. Fox gets an even more complex role in Dark Knight, because Batman is like, yeah, we need to use this device that is unethical, dangerous, it violates the privacy of every citizen. Batman is like, yeah, but I need this. I'm under quarantine right now, I need to find this guy, and this is the only way. Which leads me to that blue fire that I was talking about, the fact that the blue is the less reachable part of the fire. Joker is that. He's completely unreachable. Nobody can get to him. If you think about it, throughout the entire movie, they never find Joker. They never confront Joker until the third act. Joker always finds everyone. So he has to use this a lot, and Fox is like, damn it, I don't like this, but okay, I'm gonna do this once because I know that it's important, but after that, consider this my resignation. So we finally arrived at the climax of The Dark Knight. Gordon feels incredibly guilty for what happened to Harvey, because he's like, yeah, I mean, my corrupt cops, my fellas who should be helping me, they did that. And he gives one of the most heartbreaking lines in the entire movie.
Dent is in there with them. We have to save Dent. I have to save Dent.
This movie is so creative that the climax could have been just Batman saving hostages from Joker's goons. But no. Nolan was like, what if the goons are actually the hostages, and the hostages are dressed as the goons with tape stipped to their guns? So Batman is forced to fight the SWAT team, who don't understand that these guys are not the hostages and that the goons are not the goons. And holy shit, Batman is so badass in this moment, and he beats the shit out of everyone. The SWAT team, the goons, and even the hostages. He has to beat the shit out of the hostages in some way or another. I mean, he pushes them. I have to move you from here. Holy shit. At this point, me and my friends realized something. The night that we watched Batman Begins and Dark Knight back to back, we watched both in a row. I realized, holy shit, we are already in the third act of Dark Knight. How it happened so fast. This movie flies. It's insanity. It's how quick this film is. It's just insane. There's so much story happening and it feels so fast. It's a 2.5 hour movie that feels like 1 hour and a half. It's just insanity. But the boat stuff, the ferry stuff, holy fuck. Again, got me scared as a kid, but it's not because I will see people blow up, but because of what this means. The fact that one of these two ferries are willing to kill the other just because of their own safety.
You don't all have to die. Those men had their chance.
When the guy, the normal civilian, is about to press that button to kill the prisoners, the music, oh my god. But of course he decides not to. Some people that are very negative towards humankind are gonna say that he was a pussy. But others, like Batman, will say that people are not that crazy as you might think, Joker, fuck you. And the other ferry, with that guy who's also a prisoner, he's like, yeah, give me that detonator, I'm gonna do something that you should have done a few minutes ago. That guy is awesome, by the way. And that moment, he steals the show. Oh, that moment is like, oh my god. What a great movie! When Joker fights Batman, I also find to be interesting the fact that he also has that aspect of Batman that is like rageful. He's like, he's like fighting Batman. That just complements what Joker said, that both of them are not that different. It's just that obviously one is good and the other one is evil.
You complete me.
This film has the definite battle between good and evil, man. But as Batman throws Joker off the building, Joker is laughing at he's falling down because he's like, I win. I made the uncorruptible corruptible. But no, Batman saves him, and of course Joker's like, ah, you really couldn't do this, man. But Joker says, you know, I have an ace in the hole. Mine's Harvey. I turned him, and everybody, when they find out the things that he has done, that very stuff will be different next time. Yeah, the moment with Gordon's family also, my god, that's seriously disturbing as a kid, man. I mean, the screams of his wife when Harvey's threatening his son, it's just a serious disturbing drama here. But yeah, I mean, when Batman shows up, he's like, you wanna hurt the boy, Harvey? Batman is having the worst night of his life, man. He's so tired that after he leaves Joker with his cable, he's like, we'll be in a pedestal forever. He's so tired, and you can tell in a lot of scenes in this movie. Even when he's lifting the kid up towards Gordon, he's like, he's having the worst time in his life. But Harvey's twisted perspective, what he tells to Gordon and Batman, and yeah, he's completely wrong, but you understand him. You completely, you're wrong what you're saying, but you don't understand your emotions. But one of the reasons that he's wrong is when he says, why was I the one who lost everything? And Batman says, he wasn't. And this also is very interesting because Batman, for the sake of the kid, could have revealed his identity towards Harvey. He will be like, I'm Bruce. I lost my best friend and I was in love with her. But if you think about it, that would have been a double-edged sword, because if he revealed that he was Bruce, Rachel's best friend, Harvey will be like, so you were not just Batman, you were also his best friend and you let her die. So Batman, yeah, he did the best call, without a doubt. But yeah, it's heartbreaking when he says that, and he's like, he wasn't. He's like, oh, you can see in Christian Bale's eyes, my god, the acting in this movie. For fuck's sake, Batman has to push Harvey and the kid off the building to save the kid, of course. Harvey dies in the fall. This is something that, again, people don't get about this movie. It feels like some people really haven't seen Dark Knight. Maybe it's because I have seen a lot of times that people really don't understand it. But one of the things that people say a lot about this movie is that it is one of the few superhero movies where the villain won. Joker doesn't win in this movie. That's the point of Batman's sacrifice towards the end. One of the reasons why Christopher Nolan is my favorite filmmaker of all time is that he really tries with every single movie he does, even this very cold movie, to give you a light at the end of the tunnel. Because basically what he says with this ending is that, yeah, a lot of people are bad. A lot of people can turn to evil. But there will still be some good people. Some good people who are actually willing to make the sacrifice that they have to do for everyone. Like I said in my Mask of Phantasm review, what makes a great Batman movie is that movie that makes you appreciate Batman in ways that you never thought of. And in this movie shows that Batman's biggest sacrifice is not his health in his life, is sacrificing his mission and the promise that he gave to his parents to save everyone. This film puts him in a corner and makes you question Batman. It makes Batman question himself. It's exciting, and the speech that enforces how great Batman is, he's a watchful protector, a dark knight. And of course we have the title card of this movie that reinforces the last moments of the Dark Knight. So after rewatching it, does my opinion still stand? Of course. Of course. I could analyze this film even deeper, but the video will be like 5 hours long. But I haven't even explained you that thing about the meaning of the dogs in this movie. Like, there's a lot of things, a lot of meanings in this film that I haven't talked about because of time. Of course it's the best film of all time. Every time you watch it, you will discover something else. Something that you never thought of. Give me another movie that has this much thematic richness to it. This much meaning in every single scene, in every single sequence. While you think about another movie this good, I'm gonna do something I have never done in my channel and probably I will never do again. I'm gonna give The Dark Knight an 11 out of 10. This is not just the best film of all time, it's the ultimate Batman movie. But how can it be the ultimate Batman movie if it's very different from the comics aesthetically speaking, and when it's about the realism and stuff? And it's like, I mean guys, you have to adapt from a comic book, not copy a comic book. Not all the things in a comic book work for film. For instance, the gray suit of Batman, in my opinion, doesn't work in film. The realistic take, the grounded take, or how Nolan calls it, the relatable take on Batman, in my opinion, is the definitive cinematic version of Batman. Yeah, I can't wait for The Brave and the Bold. Apparently it's going to be more fantastical. I can't wait for that. It was going to be very different. But for myself, how they approach these characters, Batman, Harvey, Joker, Gordon, all these characters, you can tell that they're respecting the essence of the characters and they're respecting the essence of the world in the comics. Even though it's different, looks different, the essence is here. By the way, I want to give a shout out to an IG account called the Dark Knight Trilogy Collection. You have to check them out. They boost a lot of facts each day about the Dark Knight Trilogy. If you're a big fan like me, you should follow that page. It's really awesome.
One has the moves.
Somebody is definitely peeing in her cup.
It's been exciting to talk about The Dark Knight. We're going to talk about more Batman movies throughout the month of October. Dark Knight Rises and The Batman, probably going to talk about it on October 31st. I think it's the perfect day to talk about it. Guys, as always, thank you for watching and take care of your time.